old friend of yours last night, Paul Spork.
Who?
He said that they used to call him Dork, which is creative.
Oh, Spork the dork. Oh, what a blast from the past.
He said you two dated.
Oh, it was not a date. It was a disaster. He was a limo driver. We had to pick up a couple kids from prom and then drive them around while they made out in the back seat. Total buzzkill.
He was a nice guy, though, right?
All I remember about him is that he had this really awful laugh with a snort, like...
That's attractive.
Didn't call him Dork for nothing.
So giving him your phone number was maybe not such a good idea.
You didn't.
He seemed like a really nice guy. He's an architect now. You should really give him another chance.
Laughs don't change, Lily. Neither do people.
Dork. Which room were they in? That one right over? Jordan! Excuse us. Right this way. So, you want to study together?
Only we can get naked in the stacks.
Come on, that stuff doesn't really happen. It's just a myth.
No comment.
Man, I knew I should have gone to the library more.
Why is in college you gotta listen to music at 150 decibels?
Same reason you build lofts, buy futons, play hacky sack, unless you are Zach Bouchard. 19 years old, in which case you prefer fine wines and French cinema. The RA said he was here on a fencing scholarship.
We found him.
A maintenance guy. He had a work order to fix a light.
Painkillers, 20-pack, empty. You find a suicide note?
No. You think he killed himself?
Looks that way. Had his whole life ahead of him. I don't get it.
You thrive on problems, Jordan. Others don't.
Well, it's a shame.
Motel manager found him about an hour ago. Some unis busting a dope dealer, couple doors down. Scared off whoever did this.
The urban legend lives. There should be a phone nearby and a message.
What are you talking about?
It's the urban legend. A tourist is kidnapped so his kidney can be harvested. He wakes up in a tub full of ice with a phone next to him and a message to call 911.
As much as I appreciate the unfettered exuberance, Nigel, this is reality.
Arturo Sanchez. Poor guy wrote his name in marker on his collar.
Poor guy indeed.
One decision's sewn up. Why bother if you're going to do this?
Liver temp's going to be a problem.
It's going to be hard to do an autopsy.
Why is that?
His organs are gone. Looks like there was a table here.
You're thinking what I'm thinking, aren't you?
I try not to.
This is about body part harvesting. Why take a kidney when you can have the whole kit and caboodle? It's the urban legend run amok.
All right, see what else you can find and try to stay out of the Twilight Zone.
So you rented a room to a John Smith for the past year and you never met him?
I spoke once to him on the phone. He made a standing reservation for this room every Sunday. I left a key under the doormat.
Well, that was very accommodating.
Weren't you curious to know what was going on in here?
Well, every Monday the room was spotless and there'd be 5 bills on the dresser. Pretty much answered my nagging questions.
You know, maybe talking to us downtown at the station would help jog your memory.
Okay. Look, I saw a Hispanic guy, young, baseball cap, drove off in a rusty blue Datsun.
See what happens when you start thinking?
Dr. M. Surgical glove. Used suture packet. What do you make of this? Sample from the tub.
Organ preservative.
Right. Proof positive of body part harvesting.
Anything else?
Wire receipt. With a message in Spanish. Victim dropped it.
He wired $1,000 to Guatemala this morning. This poor bastard wasn't kidnapped. He sold his organs.
Of course I heard about Zach.
Yet here you are at practice. One would think his own roommate.
Look, I know it looks callous, but I didn't know what else to do. Great guy, great fencer, but we didn't share, you know? And he kept stuff to himself.
Something as big as killing yourself over, you think it would show.
Look, you probably need to talk to Professor Danvers.
Who's he?
She,
Is she one of Zach's professors?
the faculty advisor.
Lately, she was riding him about something, or what?
Riding him? Yeah, yeah, you could say that.
She said this guy was a fencer?
Yeah, well, you wouldn't get cuts like this from fencing.
Yeah, whatever. That's not how he killed himself.
You're gonna find hydrocodone on the talk screen. I need to know how much was in his system.
You think this is what killed him?
20 pills missing from the pack. That's my guess.
Okay.
Hey, Sidney, hang on. Boy, this looks like a bloody fingerprint.
Yeah, it's probably his. You know, from the blood from the cuts of his hand, he could have touched himself and touched his collar.
Yeah. Pull the print off anyway, just to be sure.
Girl, do you know how hard it is to pull a print like that off a pattern like this?
Jordan, there's a Professor Danvers here. She was Zach Bouchard's faculty advisor. She wants to speak to the ME on the case.
Well, that'd be me.
You just had to wear a shirt like this, huh?
You make it sound like he committed suicide.
That's the way it looks.
He couldn't have done that. It's not possible. You're making a mistake.
I'm sorry.
Zach was special, driven, more sure of himself than other students. Do you know what it's like to spend your days with normal 18 and 19-year-olds?
I don't even want to know.
Professor Danvers, hi. Detective Woody Hoyt, your office said you'd be here. Is this a good time to ask you a few questions? Was there anything going on in your relationship with Zach that would have depressed him enough to kill himself?
What are you implying?
You were in a relationship with him, right? A sexual relationship.
Who told you that?
His roommate.
I don't believe this. Not any of it.
I'm not surprised Professor Danvers is trying to hide her affair with Zach. The lady's old enough to be his mother.
Oh, she is not. And give me a break. If it was a male professor with a co-ed, you'd be slapping him a high five.
I would not. All right, maybe a low five.
This was not a suicide.
What?
His lower ribs are fractured, and there's hemorrhaging in the muscle tissue. He was burked.
What?
Someone compressed his chest until he died. He was deliberately asphyxiated.
He'd fight back.
Not if you slip him a couple painkillers.
Could a woman do it?
If he was drugged, sure.
How bad did the professor want to keep her little secret?
She said she had no secret to keep.
I plan to find that out.
No match for the prints on the surgical glove, Dr. M.
What about the lot number on the suture packet?
Still running the trace.
This guy was strip-mined. Cartilage taken from the knees, cornea is gone.
He was snookered. Parts of the human body are worth 230 grand, sold separately. Came up in our trivia game.
This one sewn incision still doesn't make sense.
Final closure was done with a running subcuticular suture.
Son of a bitch, you did this as a trained surgeon.
Got a translation on that money wire message. To my family. Use this money to send Juan and Inez to school. More will be coming. I miss you dearly. With all my love, Papa.
We got a trace on the suture packet. Shiloh Medical Supply, Dunlap Street.
John Smith. Doesn't ring a bell, but I got orders coming out of my ears.
Listen, would you mind if we took a look?
Knock yourselves out. Shiloh Medical. Yeah. Let me look.
There it is, John Smith.
Standing order, same supplies every week, and the address is...
Paradise Motel, room
Yeah,
6.
I got it. All right.
You know, you sell a lot of surgical supplies. Do you check the medical licenses of who it's going to?
With the initial order, I run a DEA number. If it clears, their name goes in the system.
Yeah, but not the DEA number?
What, you want to bust me for poor record keeping? Look, maybe one of my delivery crew knows something. Checking a lot.
Baseball cap, rusty blue Datsun.
Excuse me. Whoa, don't even try, because I will use this. Manuel Rios, where's fire?
I didn't mean it. Tell Sylvia I would never hurt her. She can have the money. This isn't about my alimony?
You were seen outside room 6 at the Paradise Motel. A murder's been committed there.
Hey, I just deliver stuff. Once a week, I drop off supplies for a guy named John Smith.
Did you ever meet him?
No, I just leave a box at the door.
Ever see anything unusual?
Once I was late on delivery, and I saw someone go in. A guy seen in my neighborhood. A doctor.
The bad news is, Professor, The ME's ruled out suicide.
That's bad news?
Your boyfriend was murdered.
Murdered.
Maybe I should be talking to Howard. Your husband? The one you're in a custody battle with? The one you forgot to tell me about?
He had nothing to do with this. He doesn't know about Zach and me.
I believe you. Because if he did know, then this custody battle would be over, wouldn't it? Cradle robbing mom, loses sole custody to dad. Which brings us back to you. So, my first question is going to be...
You have questions? Call my lawyer. I assume I'm free to go.
You're a hell of a good liar.
I spent the better part of a decade in a horrible marriage. Zach saved my life. I didn't kill him.
As a suicide, this made me sad. As a murder, it makes me very angry.
Well, why don't you channel that anger into getting me some solid evidence so I can talk to Mrs. Robinson again?
Now, this is a strange place to find a doctor.
Yes, this guy. Excuse me. Don't ask Dr. Alex Cuevas.
I was there, but I didn't kill anyone.
Arturo Sanchez is quite dead.
I am a surgeon from Colombia.
Oh, so you're here illegally?
Yes. I thought I could start a new life here, but I have been blackmailed into harvesting kidneys.
Who's blackmailing you?
An organ broker I never met.
Let me guess. His name is John Smith?
Yes. He calls me here and tells me when a patient is ready. I go to the motel, I remove his kidney, I put it in a cooler, and then I leave with the patient very much alive.
Okay, how's this for a theory? You're John Smith.
I didn't kill him. I didn't even harvest his kidney because it shows signs of amyloidosis.
Signs of what?
Protein deposits in the tissues can be caused by systemic illness. He could have had an infectious disease. Why should we believe you?
Because I closed him up and left. Look on the body. You should find a left flank incision I sutured.
Where did the donors come from?
I don't know. There were plenty of volunteers. They were paid $1,000 up front, another $5,000 after the surgery.
How much were you paid?
Nothing. I had no choice. I never wanted any part of this.
All right, we'll check the phone records here. In the meantime, Dr. Cuevas, you're going to be our guest downtown.
Cool. Nice feint. Yeah, I took a PE rotation back at community college. Do you mind if I ask you a few more questions?
Sure. You mind if I keep practicing? We're gonna meet this weekend against NYU, and I'm taking Zach's spot.
I'm not very good, so take it easy on me.
Okay.
Do you remember Professor Danvers coming by Zach's dorm room at all?
Not that I'm aware of, but between classes, I'm not in the dorm room that much.
Do you have any recollection of their relationship? Did they fight at all?
Danvers the reason Zach killed himself?
Actually, Zach was murdered.
No way.
Wait. I also couldn't help but notice the cuts you had on your arm the other day. They were a lot like Zach's.
It's stupid, really. We were tooling around with some antique blades, and things got out of hand, and we just goofed around. Now, look, if my coach finds out that I use real blades, I'd be booted off the team.
Where were you 2 nights ago?
I was here until around 6, and I went to a kegger at Farley Hall.
Anyone verify that?
Yeah, about 100 drunk freshmen.
What time did you get back to your dorm room?
I didn't. I hooked up with this one chick named Amber, but when I woke up, I was late to practice, so I came straight here.
Amber who?
I don't remember. She lives in Farley, though, 2nd floor.
Look, I swear to you,
I didn't kill Zach.
you better hope I find this Amber girl.
The print on the victim's shirt was pretty much unreadable because of the pattern of the fabric. But since I chose to accept your mission, check it out. There's no way to lift the print, so the secret is eliminating the background.
Now, that is just cool.
Oh, no, it's like ice, baby. You see, I'm running an algorithm which estimates ridge minutia using mathematical probabilities in a Gaussian envelope.
Hey, man, you don't have to talk down to me.
I'm enhancing the print so we get more than an 8-point match.
So we don't know whose print this is?
Not yet. It's going to take some time.
George, yes. Sporkador called. No, I haven't called him back yet. Actually, it's about Zach Bouchard.
What about him?
I just spoke with his parents.
Were they able to tell us anything about Zach?
No, there wasn't much to say. Because Zach Bouchard died when he was 5 years old.
Well, hello there, Califora vomitoria.
Stop being pretentious. It's a maggot.
Stain that prostate sample I asked you to, Nigel?
There's a joke there somewhere. Yeah, I did, with a dollop of Congo Red.
I found a Califora vomitoria in the victim's ear.
This body's too fresh for maggots.
Indeed. And take a look there.
Blood flukes. Could be schistosoma Mansoni, given where he's from.
Ready for you, Dr. M.
Dr. Cuevas was right. Amyloidosis is a result of his parasite infection.
Right.
Dr. Macy, it's Detective Carver. She found the organ broker.
Organ brokering. This is a joke, right?
We have phone records of you calling Dr. Cuevas.
Manuel, come here for a second. Boy, you two can end up with egg on your faces. Manuel, tell these good folks what you do every week at the Naranjo market.
I pick up groceries, Mr. Silent.
Thank you. That'll be all. Sure, I call the stock group. I order groceries because they have the best produce in town. As for this Dr. Cuevas, never heard of him before.
Let's just say I don't believe in coincidence.
You were arrested 8 years ago trying to buy a kidney from an undercover officer.
My uncle needed it. He died after 3 years on a waiting list.
Maybe that spurred your business plan.
Let's say hypothetically you're right. I think you, as a doctor, would appreciate the beauty of a system that saves lives and benefits all.
It's a rosy view of the black market.
Donors who need money get paid for an organ that goes to someone dying on a waiting list. It's a win-win. A broker's a savior.
Or in this case, it's a murderer.
Whose murder?
The donors. When he sacrificed for all his parts because the broker got greedy. Not to mention the disease that could be spread because nobody bothered testing him. There's nothing hypothetical about it.
Well, then it's a good thing I'm not a broker, isn't it? Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got customers waiting.
I'll get traps put on his phones.
The urban legend lives.
A broker's a savior.
Look on the body. You should find a left flank incision I sutured.
Dr. Macy, you're not going to believe this. You know that maggot we found in Arturo Sanchez? It's radioactive.
I mashed up the little bugger and got these chromatography results. It came from soil contaminated with uranium-235.
That's used in power and weapons plants.
The Concord Uranium Processing Plant, to be exact. A study was done last year to assess the cost of cleaning the contaminated site. They did soil analysis every 500 square feet. You're looking at the results.
What was the uranium level in the maggot?
78.2 picocuries. Came from here.
We've got 2 decomposed bodies so far, strip mined like Arturo Sanchez.
Yeah, I've got some tire marks and some drops of engine oil. Looks like someone was just here.
You got that right. This one's fresh.
A piece of blue plastic tarp, just like we found in the motel room.
All right, the murderer wrapped the bodies in it to transport them to the gravesite.
Then he unfurled the tarp, dumped the bodies, and reused it.
You must have picked up the maggot the last time, transferring it to Arturo Sanchez when you tried to wrap him up.
See, your Dr. Cuevas couldn't have been the culprit. He was in custody when the fresh body was dumped.
Yeah, we haven't found our killer yet, so the clock's ticking. Okay, here's the game plan. I want all 3 bodies tested for infectious diseases, HIV, hepatitis B and C, rabies, etc. I need a blood type, HLA markers, and a leukocyte cross-match on the fresh body. Notify the National Transplant Registry that potentially diseased organs could be available in the next 48 hours. Let's determine an exact time of death on the 2 decomposed victims, start facial reconstruction, and cross-reference any missing persons reports. Tell me who you recognize. There was no match to any missing persons, so we assumed they were all illegal immigrants.
Did you operate on these men?
Not that one. The other 2, yes.
You removed their kidneys?
Yes, and they were alive when I left them.
Who could have done this?
Anyone. Organs can be crudely harvested as long as there was somebody on the other end who could clean them up before transplant.
Do you know the names of these men?
Look, You may have been cleared of murder, but you should know you're still in a hell of a lot of trouble.
In Colombia, I was threatened with bodily harm if I refused to treat a drug lord. I came here and I found myself in a similar situation. I am done with threats. You could keep me locked up and I'd be glad. I don't know his name, but I have seen him before at Pescador restaurant. He worked there as a busboy.
I'm here against my better judgment.
Zach Bouchard's real name was David Parks. He was 32 years old, divorced.
What?
Well, that answers my first question. You obviously didn't know. Look, it's possible something from his past caught up with him.
Whose past? David Parks? Zach was 19. He told me he loved me. Was that a lie, too? Was anything real?
You happen to pull any records from Finchley on that Zach Bouchard?
Yes? What are you looking for?
How somebody with no transcripts got into an elite college.
Well, his application said he was homeschooled. Somebody did a good job. 1,600 on his SATs.
How could he be a 32-year-old dropout? A 32-year-old anything?
What?
I don't know, but here it is.
He was 32?
Yeah. What was he running from?
No record, no warrants. Maybe he didn't like his family life. Maybe he wanted to finish his education.
Yeah, but 32-year-olds go to college. Why pretend you're 19?
If you can get away with it, why not?
Hey, Garrett. I need your signature on a requisition. For an in-house masseuse.
I'm sorry, what?
Something on your mind?
I was just wondering what I would do for a living if I had to flee the country.
Say no more. Got a full tank of gas. You'll be across the border by midnight. Okay. Obviously, I have some experience with your commitment issues. Just never thought they'd translated to your career. So what's this really about?
When I was a kid, I wanted to be an engineer. You know, the kind that drives the train. Then when I started playing drums, I wanted to be a musician. I don't know when I wanted to be a doctor. It just happened. But now that I am, could I not be one if I had to give it all up?
None of us really know what we'd do under those circumstances. I'd like to think you'd find another way to help people. I think that's who you are, Garrett.
I wasn't asking you to make me feel better.
I know. I can't help it. It's who I am.
David Parks, a.k.a. Zach Bouchard, didn't have a prescription for hydrocodone, but Professor Danvers did.
Okay, she didn't kill him.
According to her pharmacist, she got the pills in blister packs just like we found in Zach's dorm room.
You could find blister packs like that in half the dorm rooms on any campus.
So now that you bonded with the professor, I'm supposed to leave her alone?
She didn't do it. It's unlikely anyone from his past wanted him dead. I talked to his ex-wife. She said he never made an enemy in his life.
She explained why he reinvented himself?
He dropped out of Ohio State when she got pregnant. They got married, but then she left him for someone else. She thinks he never got over missing college.
Dr. Kavanaugh, I finally got an ID on that print.
Excuse me, but didn't Professor Innocent say that she did not see Zach the day he died? I guess this bloody fingerprint was left behind from some other time Zach just happened to cut himself.
There were several witnesses at the El Pescador restaurant who saw you talking to the victim 2 days before he died. He was in Mr. Schuyler's car. There was a security camera in the parking lot.
You were using the restaurant as a recruiting ground for organ donors. That's the down payment for his kidney, I believe.
He was late on his rent. I was helping him out.
4 victims have been found eviscerated, and you seem very unaffected.
But I had nothing to do with it. You already have your man, Cuevas.
These donors are getting us nowhere.
We can nail Schuyler another way through the recipients. We're 6 hours out from the most recent victim.
The organs of Arturo Sanchez are probably being transplanted as we speak.
Our best bet is the busboy. He died 6 weeks ago. Transplanted recipients might be out of the hospital already.
I could tissue type him, try finding matching recipients who took themselves off the waiting list in the last 6 weeks.
Do it. I'll call the National Transplant Registry. Lieutenant Abbott?
Yes. Can I help you?
I'm Garrett Macy with the medical examiner's office. How you doing today?
Fine. What's this all about?
You look good. You look healthy. You removed yourself from a kidney transplant waiting list 5 weeks ago. I have reason to believe that you purchased a kidney on the black market.
You don't understand. I had no choice. I was dying on that waiting list. I'm an old man. 6 more months, I won't even be eligible for a transplant operation. I had to do something. I want to see my grandchildren grow up.
I need to know who sold you that kidney.
But he saved my life.
You're not going to do your grandchildren any good sitting in jail.
His name is Roger Schuyler.
How much did you pay him?
$60,000. I transferred the money directly into his account.
The bank helped us track it back to Schuyler. I want every scrap of paper seized.
Walter PD, everybody breathe!
Son of a bitch.
There's no sign of him, Dr. Mason.
All right, send a unit out immediately. We'll be right there. This draft in Schuyler's phone may have paid off. The last call out of here was to a Russian national, Karl Marchenko. Private plane is scheduled to leave Worcester Airport in half an hour.
How much you want to bet Schuyler's on that plane?
Karl Marchenko? Where's Roger Schuyler?
I don't know. Don't touch that.
Did you buy this from Roger Schuyler?
I don't know who you're talking about. No! Please. My son needs that heart. I'm begging you.
You know you bought that heart from Roger Schuyler.
I told you we met, but he never gave me his name.
Macy.
Yeah, I got a match on the print from the organ preservation machine. I'm emailing it over right now. Okay.
You don't recognize him.
He's not here.
Are you sure?
Audited. That's him. The guy who sold me the heart.
Schuyler's delivery boy. Manuel Rios?
We met at a bar on Fremont. He was nervous. He left in a taxi because he was worried that someone was following him.
What taxi company was it?
Yellow Cab, I think.
Let's find out where he went. Is John Smith registered? It fits a description.
He had plenty of opportunity to witness organ harvest. If he was in charge of cleanup afterwards, it would have been easy to kill the donors.
Police, freeze! Drop it! Macy!
He's alive. Call the paramedics.
Got it.
Where's Schuyler?
How should I know?
Was it his idea to kill the donors?
Look, you're in enough trouble as it is. If you know anything...
Schuyler was an idiot. He was making pennies off a lousy kidney.
It was so easy to take out everything, right?
No one's gonna miss these guys.
Get him out of here.
Professor, now, you said you did not see Zach the day he died, but we found a fingerprint on his bloody shirt.
All right. I saw him. I went to meet him at the fencing gym. He was hurt. I helped him clean up.
Why'd you lie about that?
Love can make you stupid, Detective.
Anyone see you leave the gym?
I passed sex roommate Lucas on my way out.
You recently filled a prescription for hydrocodone, the same drug we found in Zach. You care to explain?
He was in pain. I thought they might help.
Help knock him out so you could kill him?
Look, I could never... I've never been to Zach's room. Why would I be stupid enough?
In your own words, Professor, love makes you stupid. This woman makes Pinocchio look honest.
There's still no evidence placing her in Zach's dorm room.
All right, you go back to his room, see if CSU missed anything. I'll go find Lucas, see if Danvers' alibi version 5.0 checks out.
I killed my boyfriend. I gotta leave a trace somewhere.
Now, to burk a guy while he's sleeping, you're gonna have to sit on his chest, right?
Yeah.
Well, then you gotta pull up on the frame to get enough pressure. So there has to be a print under here somewhere.
You find anything?
No, just dust bunnies.
Okay, what, all right, I'll get on top.
Whoa. Wait a minute. We had a seminar about this, so I'm gonna stay right here.
Look. Okay, she lies on top of him, but she can't get enough leverage, so she pushes up against the top bunk,
to get pressure. Could you pass me the white light?
Yeah. Oh, adhesive on the left shoe. Take maybe.
The professor's feet are that big?
That the sword you lost to Zach with?
I didn't lose.
That's not what I heard. I also heard you would have lost your scholarship if Zach hadn't been conveniently murdered.
Look, like I said, I didn't kill him.
But if the shoe fits, I'm guessing these will. I already matched them with the shoe print found on the bed spring above Zach's bunk. And this tape matches the adhesive we found.
Looks like you lose, Lucas. Once again.
Dr. Kavanaugh, I wanted to thank you.
I was just doing my job.
I was a real chump, wasn't I?
Look, you couldn't have known.
I suppose I'm grateful that I wasn't a cradle robber after all. Not that the university sees it that way. I've been suspended pending a review.
I'm very sorry.
I know you think what Zach and I had was wrong.
You were his advisor. You had a duty to maintain a boundary.
Tell me, have you had many relationships?
Enough.
I haven't. My marriage went sour years ago. So I've been alone for a long time. And it's hard when everyone around you is finding true love. It's not an excuse. But when Zach came along, I just wasn't thinking. I so wanted a second chance. Don't we all deserve that?
Dr. Macy?
Come on in.
The DA is not pressing any charges against me. I think I have you to thank for that.
This is a friend of mine with INS. He's expecting your call.
Why are you helping me?
Because I'd like to think that someone would do the same for me if I were in your position.
If I could ever repay you, I would...
It's all right, Dr. Cuevas.
Hey, boss.
Hey.
Any leads on Schuyler?
No.
Rumor has it the heart you recovered at the airport is missing.
Is that right?
Yeah. Seems to have made its way to a Russian boy in a Montreal hospital.
It's bizarre.
If you know anything about this, you'd tell me, though, right?
No.
Yeah, just checking.
You feel like grabbing a drink?
Sorry, I already made plans.
It's the dork, isn't it?
We talked. So his laugh hasn't changed, but, you know, he seemed nice.
Nice is nice.
Everyone deserves a second chance, right?
Word of advice. Try not to sabotage things before dessert.
Who, me?
Stop the world and let me down. I'm tired of going round and round. I played